In the pursuit of mastery, each goal one makes may seem impossible to reach. For Gustavo, his quick ascent through the ranks became achievable all because he never let go of two principles. First, his refusal to give up, and second, his rejection of policies that do not make safety a priority.
I think that was accidental, getting into the asbestos industry and demolition. But, God is so big and put us in that path. The company that hired me hired like 100 workers. We all got certified. They were hiring by the hundreds back in those days. They were lacking in labor for asbestos workers. So I was one of the first ones that got certified in the late 1988, and I was only 17. And since then, I continue climbing the ladder of success in my industry. So I discovered back in those days that the companies were lacking to treat people with respect, with dignity, and for PPE, personal protection equipment. They didn't provide us rubber boots. We needed rubber boots because we were working with chemicals. They don't give us gloves and poor respirators, and they don't give us filters. So, that's when I put that thought in my mind that one day I'm going to build something. I'm going to be a leader in my industry where I can educate and I can help my people and I can give in and provide in the best PPE in the industry. And that's what happened in 2005. I opened my business in 2005 out of my garage in Anaheim, California. I started only with 5 workers, my father, my sister, bringing in $1 million worth of business from my garage. So a misconception about my industry in the pavement and demolition, it's a lot of our clients, they hire us for demolition. So when we ask for a survey report, the asbestos and lead is regulated. So that's when they think, man, why you're asking me this question? But that's regulated. Like I said, the demolition companies, typically they damage a lot of the surfaces. So we get blamed for a lot of things. And my company, I'm making a difference. We stand out of the crowd. Why? Because we combine abatement with demolition. So we do a clinical cleaning and terminal cleaning when we're doing demolition. We don't just do demo and sweep the floors and that's it, we're done. No, we leave the area super clean so other trades can work.
Despite Quality Environmental's dedication to safety and cleanliness, they still encountered issues with finances. Since Gustavo started without a blueprint in business, he and his sister knew they had to figure things out by themselves. And that's when they doubled down on this strategy.
2005, we had the economy 2005, 2008. And I thought because I'm a small business, I'm not going to get hit. And I was wrong. I did. People were not paying. I was working for just anybody because we need to keep the doors open. One day, my sister is like, Gus, what do we do? Nobody's calling at the office. And I said, well, what do we do, sister? I mean, we have to figure it out, right? So she came up with a brilliant idea. In those days, she grabbed the yellow pages, looked for a bunch of contractors, formulate a introduction letter, about our companies, our services, and she submitted about 500 to 700 letters. And we probably got, I would say 10, 15% response. So those companies became one of our biggest clients back in those days.
In addition to their genius marketing tactics, Gustavo and his team also apply a business strategy he learned through his endeavors.
So I got three things that I learned. 80-20. I was introduced to the 80-20. 20% of the customers bring 80% of the revenue, and 80% of the clients bring only 20% of the revenue. So that was a big cleanup for the office. When I came back, I speak with my team and I said, we gotta fire 80% of the clients. Of course, they went nuts. Like, how can we do that, guys? We need the revenue. No, we gotta do an analysis. So my sister did. She did an analysis and came back within a week and said, Gus, you're right. 80% of the clients don't pay. So we clean the house and we focus in the 20%ers. Those are my quality clients.
As Quality Environmental cemented their place in the industry, Gustavo now focuses on passing his skills so that their company can continue on helping families and communities achieve their American dream.
I would love to inspire other people with my story, definitely, because I always think about myself and I always see next to me Gustavo when he was 15 years old. And I said, wow, you look at how far you reached. And I never stopped. I had the immigrant spirit in me, that I came to this country and always grounded. I always keep myself grounded to be able to achieve what I have and always be humble and always share. If I can achieve it, you can achieve it.